Hi, today's tune is a lovely old hymn called The Day Thou Gavest, Lord, Has Ended, or Is Ended, some people say. And we're going to play it in the key of G major. So we're going to have an F sharp to play in this tune. And this tune uses all of the notes in the scale of G major, but it has a low D, E and F sharp, and then G, A, B, C and D. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different notes, and you've got a low D and a high D in it. It's worth saying at this point, in case I haven't said it before, that you do play this instrument, forgive the term, but blind. You don't look, round at the instrument as you play. So you've really got to get to know, using a thing called muscle memory, where the buttons actually are. When I'm playing, I can always feel if the button I'm going to play is going to be right, just from the hours I've spent practicing. And so you really need to know, obviously, what note each button gives you, and you need to be able to feel where they are. And that comes with a lot of practicing, really getting used to the instrument and developing this thing called muscle memory. So your muscles kind of remember where they went last time. I always treat each tune that I play as a kind of a journey, unfamiliar at first, and then the more I make that journey, the more familiar it becomes, and I get to know where the kind of musical landmarks are, where the buttons are, where my fingers are going to go, and this is all part of building up that muscle memory. By the way, when I say left and right, just to clear this up, I'm obviously talking from the player's perspective. So this side is left, it's right as you're looking at it on your screen, but it's my left, and this side is right. It's left as you're looking at it from the screen, but it's my right. So as you look down on the instrument, this side is right, this side is left. So when I say left and right, that's what I'm talking about. The other thing I wanted to say is that the more confident you become when you're playing, that the better tone you get. When you're playing at first and you're a little bit underconfident, you're not sort of pulling the bellows or pushing the bellows in a confident manner, you do tend to get this kind of weedy, weak tone. As you become more confident and you a little bit more forthright with the bellows, it's nothing to do with the buttons, how hard you press the buttons, it's the bellows that gives you the expression and the volume. The more confident you become, the better your tone gets, I've noticed. It's a pretty straightforward tune, this. It's a waltz, it's in 3 tones, so counting in 3s. But I'm going to try and introduce a couple of little bits in this. I'm going to do a little ornament, a thing called a mordent, which is not written on the page, but I'll show you that. And we're also going to try and introduce a little chord on the end of the song, a little 3-note chord, just to round things off a bit. I think I'll start off just by playing the tune. 1, 2. So it's a lovely tune, and as I say, it's in the key of G. If you look on the far right hand side of the page, you can see the notes used in the tune in ascending order. So from the top to the bottom, we have a D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C and a D. So 2 Ds, and as I say, you've got all the notes that you find in a scale of G major, so you've got the F sharp that you need. So it starts on the 3rd beat of the bar, over on the left hand side of the page there, beat 3, look at the counting on the side, and you just work your way through. Watch out for the F sharp there on the lowest row, right in the middle of these 3. Okay, I've only got 3 buttons on here, and because this is a 30 button Jackie, that's your F sharp. Bellows directions. Now obviously I'm doing quite a long passage before I change. I do all of this. before I change direction and start going in. Obviously if you play the tune a bit faster it's not so bad. So you may want to change your bellows more often than that, or change the direction more often. So something like this. Then change again. Change again. Change again. Change again. Change again. Change again. It's quite hard to play and talk like I'm doing there, but I find that's too often for me, and I prefer to keep the direction going twice as long as that. So if you watch what I do when I played it through the first time there, I think personally that's the way to go. Look at the finger numbers very carefully. Look at the columns underneath where it says left and right. You can see the fingers 1, 2 and 3 for both sides. So basically everything in these middle 2 rows, fingers 1 and 2, and when you want the F sharp on the right hand side, it's finger 3. Okay, you don't use finger 3 with the left hand because you don't play any of these sharps, flats if you like, on the left hand side. So that's the tune. Let's put in these couple of bits that I wanted to show you. So I'm going to just add a couple of bits and you'll see what they are. Now, notice there, that's called a mordent, and it's a little rapid alternation of this note A, the B above it, and come back to the A. So where are we when we do this? Well, we're at the bottom of page 1, the last bar, and you can see there's an A there which is held for 2 beats and then the G on the 3rd beat of the bar. Now the A is on the right hand side here, it's an A here, and what we're going to do, instead of just playing the A, we're going to play it, we're going to come back to the B that we played in the previous bar and then back to the A. We're going to do that A, B, A, crush it in like that before we go to the G. And at this point the bellows are starting to close, and then we're going to go on to the F sharp on the next page. So we've got. So let's show you that from the beginning again. So you've got to be very relaxed with that and just put it in and not get sort of tense, just let it happen. If you find it too difficult, obviously don't worry. This is only for you if you've been playing for a little while. Now let's put the chord in on the end. So I'm going to play from the top of page 2, I'm going to miss out the F sharp, start with the D. Now that final chord, 3 notes, right, the note that's written is a G on the left hand side. We're going to play a G major chord. So we're going to play the G here, the B next to it, okay, on the row below, and on this side we're going to play the D. So we're going to have a D and a G and a B, 3 note G major chord. Press all 3 buttons at the same time, and that's a nice way of ending it. If you find that too hard, obviously just play the G, which is of course what we call the root note because we're in the key of G major, but the extra D on the right hand side and the B on the left, that turns out single note of G into a G major chord, and rather a nice way to end. So those 2 extra bits, great if you can do them. If you can't, don't worry, just stick with the basic tune until you feel that you're able to add them in. So anyway, that's today's tune, lovely old hymn, and I hope you enjoyed it.